to another segment of Gloves Off with Ray Boom Boom Mancini and Steve Kimber here from Hollywood Smoke in Santa Monica. Ray, I think the biggest story of the year did not happen inside the ring. I think we finally have a détente, peace in the Middle East if you want to call it that. Golden Boy and Top Rank are now at least thawing the Cold War and working together to a certain degree. How big is this development in your eyes?
To me, people are making it more than what it is. I mean, Bob Arum has been the best promoter, has been for a long time. Golden Boy had the Flash going, you know, with Oscar De La Hoya, but it was Richard Schaefer running the company. Everyone knew that. And then when there became a Cold War between Richard Schaefer and Bob Arum, I got to tell you, I wasn't, you know, the fact that De La Hoya, you know, he stuck by his partner. I understand it. But there's a lot of things he said about Bob Arum and Top Rank in the papers. And then he comes back with the mea culpa. Oh, you know, I didn't really mean it. Schaefer made me say it. You're a big boy. You say things because you want to say them. You know what you're saying, what you're not saying. That I don't buy. Okay, it's over. Who cares? It's the best thing for De La Hoya and for Golden Boy to be associated with Bob Arum again. Absolutely, there's no doubt.
I'll just say this. When Schaefer and Bob were running things, which wasn't that long ago, and I had to deal with both guys, as a media guy, interviewing them, the vitriol spoiling on both sides. This really was like Kennedy and Khrushchev. This was a Cold War. And there was a lot of Bay of Pigs situations. I don't think it was healthy for the sport. No. Fighters suffered. Fans suffered because we didn't get the fights. I think from a fighter standpoint, it had to be frustrating that if you're a Tim Bradley and you say, you know what, I want to fight Maidana or Matisse, and right off the bat they say, you can't. You can't. There's an embargo. As a fighter, how would you have dealt with that situation? That if they said, Ray, you can't fight him because he's with Don King.
Well, that was one of the reasons why my manager, David Wolf, kept me a free agent. He did. Yeah. He worked hard. I had but when I won the world title, I had 3 options for Top Rank and Bob Arum. After 3 options, I became a free agent. And Dave Wolf fought hard to keep me a free agent. And I appreciate that. Now, that doesn't mean I fought for Bob again, but he had outbid everyone else. I didn't have obligation to him. He had outbid the other promoters. So, and then I fought for a couple of independent promoters who were, new to the game. So, I admired that. I admired what Dave Wolf did. And De La Hoya was a free agent for a long time, so he knows the game.
Ray, do you think fighters who were underneath the banner of either Golden Boy or Top Rank, and regardless of who their manager was, do you think more fighters needed to stand up and say, excuse me, my life, my career, my face getting punched in the face, you work for me. I want that fight. I don't care about your politics.
Absolutely. I've been saying that forever. I don't think fighters understand that. I think they have this mentality that I'm a gun for hire, that they're my boss.
Or an employee.
Or an employee for them. But they're your employee. And be honest with you, me and my manager, Dave Wolf, had some roughs going early in the beginning in my career. Before I started hitting, before I won the title shot, I got the title shot. Early in my career, we had a little bit of a, because I told him, I said, you work for me. Yeah. This is my life. And just what you said. And I had that blowout with him. And it became, what do if you think you could do better? And then there's guys that I talked to about that were starting getting involved with me, the guys who originally wanted to sign me from my hometown, the original guys, but they balked at the number he wanted. He said, buy me out, and he put a price on. And at that time, it was a high number then a big number. Afterwards, after I won the title and made them all that money, they said, it was the stupidest, it would have been the best investment we'd ever made. We were stupid for not doing it. We just didn't see the vision.
Ray, I think there's still 2 issues along this subject of the Cold War. Number one, the Al Heyman clients at Golden Boy. I don't know if they're going to face the Bob Arum guys. And basically, Al Heyman is in essence, is banned by HBO. So let's not throw a parade just yet. And as we're seeing on December 13th, I think the biggest division in boxing is not between the promoters or advisors or the sanctioning bodies. It's the networks. I think HBO and Showtime, they are basically 2 separate leagues.
Absolutely. No, and you're right. It's why people say, why don't Budweiser or Miller form one beer, super beer? That's exactly what it is. The networks, why? They're separate entities. We got ours, you got yours. We'll see whose means more, who's better tasting for the public. And you're right. The public suffers. As a fighter. It was funny. Ray Leonard and me talked about this years ago. a couple of years ago, I should say, when Manny, you know, and Mayweather talked about the first time. Then I talked about the second time, and it didn't happen. And Manny had said, I don't know. I want the fight. I didn't make the fight. Ray said to me, he says, you know, I don't understand why this fight's so hard to make, because when I wanted to fight Tommy, I called Bob. I said, Bob, make the fight. I called Tommy. Tommy, you want to fight? Yeah. Bob, make the fight. And we made the fight. That's that easy. Forget networks or whatever. But the networks now are letting the inmates run the asylum.
And that's it for another edition of Gloves Off here from Hollywood Smoke in Santa Monica. Make sure you follow us on Facebook or on Twitter at UCN Live. On behalf of Ray Mancini, this is Steve Kim saying goodbye, everybody.